What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Celso Top Podcast with your favorite podcaster, Celso Luis Santiago Jr. It is Thursday. Sorry, guys, something happening right now. Hold on. Sorry, I apologize for that. It is Thursday, July 10th, 2025. The time it is. Sorry, guys, I apologize. This StreamYard is going crazy on me right now. It is 4:50 p.m. Okay, there you go. Everything. Okay. All right. There we go. There we go. Now we talking. Now are we are talking now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh Lord. Um this is part two for the topic that I was talking about yesterday. This is a real talk part two, and I want every woman and men to listen closely with what I have to say. I was talking about yesterday that some females, and I'm not going to say it's their fault, but some females, when they fall in love with a man, they don't really do the whole research or background of a person. Females and men, they basically they still live in this. I call it a Barbie era. So what do you mean Barbie era? Okay, let me explain to you. A Barbie era is basically Ken will do anything for Barbie. It's a love story created by a fantasy. A fantasy that we only see on the TV. We only see in the movies. Where if Ken has another girlfriend and gets with this woman, Ken would leave his girlfriend over this girl that he just met and start going out with. But here's the thing that we are not living in that era anymore. Back in the day, there was even songs. And we're talking about probably the 1970s and 1980s, 1990s, 2000, early 2000s, where they were songs where clearly says that a man would leave his happy home for his side piece. So what's a side piece? A side piece is basically a side chick. Basically a side chick. Oh, but the woman didn't know. That's true. That's true. You know, the women didn't know, and then probably the men didn't know either. Well, so what you mean, men? Let me get to that. But yeah, the women that gets with a man, yeah, she doesn't know is if the man has a wife or got a girlfriend. They don't know. But the kicker is that if they got with a person that got a girlfriend and they find out that the person has a girlfriend and still with that person no matter what, she becomes a side chick. Now the side chick sometimes expect for her man to leave his girlfriend or wife for her when we all know that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. You know why? Because husbands and wives during the years they got more stronger, they got more smarter. They learn how to use their cards right. They learn how to play the cards, especially if the man has kids with the wife. Now the same thing can happen to a man that falls in love with a woman, find out that a woman has a man, but still with her. Now the man cannot expect for the woman to live her happy home, right? Listen, I'm not getting on nobody. I'm just saying. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is for females, man. You guys cannot get mad. I mean, I get it. Maybe you didn't know that she probably, yeah, the man lied to you and told you he got a girlfriend and can't be with you anymore and blah 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 blah. I in that part, in that part, I could feel bad for that person. I could feel bad for the female. But now, if you stay with the person, even though the person tells you that he got a girlfriend or a wife, I'm not and the person finally says, you know what, I can't be with you anymore because I'm not gonna lose my wife, I'm not gonna lose my girlfriend, then you cannot get mad because you knew all along that person had a wife, had a girlfriend, or had a boyfriend, had a husband, and suddenly they can't keep going anymore. So they leave you to stay with the wife, to stay with the husband. So you can't really get mad because you was the side chick all along. You was the side guy all along. I want to tell you something that I learned. You know, you cannot expect to be, if you are a side chick, you cannot expect to be the only side chick. Hold on. What did you just say, Celso? I said that you cannot expect to be the only side chick. You cannot expect the only side lover that she has or he has. You need to understand that once you are a side chick, once you are the lover, there might be multiple lovers, there might be multiple side chicks than you, which it means you are part of a lined up. What a lined up means, a lined up is basically when a woman or man is with is in a relationship, right? Is in a relationship and is with you at the same time, but without you knowing, she might or he might be with two, three, four, five guys or five girls at the same time, that he's with you and his wife, or she's with you and her husband or boyfriend. You are part of the lineup. You are part of a schedule lined up. What is a schedule lined up? A schedule lined up is when she might want to see you today, but at the same time testing the other guy that she might want to see tomorrow, and testing the other guy that she might want to see Thursday. So you are part of a schedule lined up, which it means you are one of the options. You are not the only option. Maybe you are trying to be the option. But let me tell you something. When you are a side chick or a lover, the first option is the wife, the husband, or the girlfriend, or the boyfriend, or the fiance. You are option number two. But hold on. You might not be option number two. You might be option number five, option number eight, because you are part of the lineup, which you don't know the order of the lineup. Only the old woman or the man that is with you and her husband or girlfriend only knows. Trust and believe, you are not the only one. You are not the only one. I'll tell you a little story. This happened to me back in 2003. I met a girl. Her name was Yvette. Very beautiful Puerto Rican female. Very beautiful girl. And that happened when I moved to Hawkins Street in Rochester, New York. I moved from Dewey Avenue to Hawkins Street in Rochester, New York. And I remember that, I met this girl. She was living next to my apartment, next to my grandmother's apartment. And I do remember that, I remember that I met this girl, and got to get to know each other. We officially became boyfriend and girlfriend. I mean, that's what I thought, that she was my girlfriend. And at the end of the road, I found out that she had a boyfriend. Now I found out that I was the lover. But she kept telling me, "Oh, I'm going to leave you for him." No, no, sorry, I'm going to leave him for you, and then blah 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 blah. And I believe her lies. I believe her lies. But every night she was living with her man. I was young. I was 19 years old, and she was 22 or 23 by that time. But like I said, I was young and stupid, and I was okay. I thought that I was the only lover that she had, and so I found out there was more than two. I was part of the lineup, and when I find out, that's when I left. I left her because I was part of the lineup. I saw a post. I think it was yesterday. A good friend of mine. Um, she met this guy, and she was happy. She's a very beautiful girl. Very beautiful girl. She's a model and very known in social media. Um, she fell in love with this guy. I guess yesterday, he told her that hey, that she got a girlfriend and that she was gonna leave her, and that's what happened. She left her to stay with his girlfriend. Basically, he lied to her, and of course she's very heartbroken. That yeah, that's normal, and she's very heartbroken. And after, yeah, I asked her today, do you want me to get on him? Let me tell you something. That girl gave me the permission to get on this dude. She didn't tell me the name, but I find out the name of this guy, and I went to his Facebook and I went out for him. And it just is crazy that how can you as a man or as a female are okay to meet somebody, make them fall in love, and then go to another guy do the same thing, or go to another female do the same thing, playing the game without knowing that those person can fall in love with you, and when they find out that you have a lined up and they're part of it, don't you understand you could break the heart? Don't you understand you could destroy the own world? Don't you understand that playing the game is very dangerous? Having fun is very dangerous. I was part of a lineup. And there was another person, but I'm not going to mention her name. Not going to say when this happened, but I was part of another lineup. I fell in love with this beautiful girl, very beautiful girl in Rochester, New York. I was deeply in love with her. I loved her so much, and I knew that she had another man. And I was with her probably like a year, 3 years, probably 3 years. And knowing that she was with another man, I still fall in love with her. But the thing that killed me is that when you finding out that I was part of the lineup, finding out that I was one of the options, and I was trying to be the option. I was trying to be the option, but all along I was one of the options. People, let me tell you something. Once you are part of the lineup, that person doesn't love you. That person love what you got between your legs because it's just nothing but fun and games for them. That's all it is. But you over here falling in love with this person. This person is falling in love with what you got between your legs instead of falling in love with you. Oh no, they might tell you, oh, they love you. Oh, they might tell you they want to be with you, but in reality, they're not falling in love with you. They're falling in love with what you got between your legs. And I'm talking to the females and I'm talking to the males too. You are part of a lineup. You are one of the options. Soon as you find out that you are one of the options, run. Run as far as you can. Because once you find out you're part of a lineup, that really gonna break your heart. I mean, if there was no agreements, because some people make agreements and say, okay, this is nothing serious, and we're just having fun. But if you didn't know that person was had a lined up, that's when you say, you know what, I'm done and I'm gone. I did it. I was done and I was gone. So yeah, if you find that you're a part of the lined up, walk away. Don't stay there. I mean, if you didn't have an agreement with that person, that you knew you was part of the lined up, that you knew you or you want to have fun, then that's when the story changes. But if you don't know you was part of the lined up, walk away. Just walk away. Find you somebody else that really loves you and really wants to be with you. That is not with you just because of sex or whatever. I understand, today in society today is really hard. It's really hard to find that person. But if you find yourself part of the lineup, just walk away. Just walk away. All right, guys, this was the topic of the day. Thank you for listening to Celso Podcast with your host, Celso Santiago Union. I will do another episode tomorrow. So stay tuned for more episode of Celso Talk Podcast.